Hi, are you curious if you're currently in a karmic relationship or if you're currently single? Have you ever wondered if your previous relationship or relationships were karmic in nature? Well, today I'm going to talk about some signs to help you know whether or not the relationship you're in is karmic. So, first off, karmic relationships do not always happen in our romantic relationships. A lot of times they can be, but there are also relationships that come in the form of friendships or even familial with the ones that we were born into, our earthly family, that can be karmic. If you ever find yourself in a relationship that is tough, and when I mean tough, I mean it's a constant battle of wills where sometimes you feel like you're going crazy because you keep repeating the same cycle. It can be argumentative. It can have a lot of push and pull. It can be chaotic and even traumatic. It doesn't feel comfortable, to say the least. Oftentimes, those relationships are karmic and they can be tough. What am I saying? They are tough. They're the toughest relationships. And they offer, though, on the other hand, the greatest potential for our growth. I will share a brief bit about one of my primary karmic relationships. And if that relationship that I experienced didn't happen in my life, I would not have stepped into greater ascension in my spiritual journey, into awakening, other forms of learning how God exists on this earth, to expand in my spiritual connection with Christ Yeshua, to those that often know him as Jesus. I wouldn't have learned about the angels and the archangels in greater depth, or even known more about our Father, Creator, Source. And my story is long and very deep, but essentially, I'm not going to get into all that in this video. What's most important is that had I not been in this karmic relationship, I would not have sought God and wanting answers in relation to why I was experiencing so much trauma and so much pain in this most uncomfortable relationship. And I did everything that I could possibly do to try to make this relationship work. But at the end of the day, I walked away from that relationship because I knew I needed to learn how to love myself. And I was fully in love with this person, fully in love with this person. But I needed to choose myself before anyone else and learn how to love myself first and foremost, so I would finally put an end to the cycle of looking and seeking love outside of myself. We all are here to learn how to love unconditionally. And the thing is that karmic relationship gave me the opportunity to learn how to love unconditionally. Prior to that relationship, unfortunately, I loved. I thought I was loving, but it was very much conditional. And when I was faced with discomfort and wanting to learn and to grow and to be better because I didn't understand why I was experiencing such chaos, such immense fighting, which I'm a type of person that does not like to fight or argue or to have dissension, especially in the place where I live, because that's a sanctuary. But that wasn't what I was living out. So basically, if you're experiencing any of what I just described, you are in this relationship because that person is acting as a mirror to you. And that mirror is being your teacher. And you can choose to not engage with that lower vibrational feelings and behaviors that happen to get acted out with that other person and walk away. And sometimes, when we're in a romantic relationship, we can choose to end that relationship. But a lot of times it's harder, much more difficult when these people are in our family. They're our parents or our siblings or a cousin or an aunt or an uncle. And we see them because they're a part of our families. But you can always create boundaries and put yourself first. And essentially, once you can identify that you're in a karmic relationship, then you can decide what is the action that you can take to best love yourself or to begin loving yourself at all. Where I came from, I didn't love myself whatsoever. So any security, anything at all, love especially, I sought validation and security and affirmations about who I am from someone outside of myself. But in walking away from that relationship, and it was the most difficult thing I've ever done in my life, I started to begin the journey of self-love. I didn't know where to begin, but I knew that if I sought God and I sought Yeshua and I spent time in contemplation, in meditation, in prayer, and just following my divine guidance, and that was Holy Spirit inside of me, that eventually, when the time was right, I'd be getting clearer answers and understanding what needed to be understood. And here I am years later, and I have so much clarity, and I'm whole, and I love myself more than I ever thought humanly possible. So I'm offering these words of encouragement and helping you to gain some clarity in whether or not you are even in a karmic relationship, to help you to have clarity in making the decision that's best for yourself. When you love yourself more than you love someone else, that's when you are able to draw in someone that is more resonant, that can be more honoring of who you are. When you love yourself in God, there isn't any human that could ever diminish your security, your value, your worth, or affirm you, because you already know you're beautiful, because you are. You're extraordinarily beautiful. So that's basically what I wanted to communicate and share today. In future videos, I'm going to talk about other tools available that have been very beneficial to me to kind of give me a better understanding about karmic relationships. And stay tuned for that. So I send you much love, and I send you virtual hugs. We all need a little bit more hugs nowadays, right? So, mwah. Thank you.